Hi everyone, my name is Karroum and this is the AS Autocomplete interview. Let's get started. What is Katie's zodiac sign? So I'm an Aries, the best zodiac sign ever. Shout out to my fire sign people. My big three is actually Aries Sun, Gemini Moon, and Leo Rising. Shout out to my astrology folk. Okay, what year is Katie? I'm a fourth year. I'm gonna be taking a fifth year though. So I'll see you all next year. What is Katie's major? My major is communication studies. I used to be a kinesiology major, then I underwent identity realization. And I said, I don't want to become a physical therapist. I want to become a communicator. So I became a communication studies major. It's clearly working. Where is Katie from? Okay, so I grew up in Glendale, California. I currently live in Pasadena, California. Don't dox me, people. Ethnically, my family's from Syria, so I'm Arab. Shout out to my Habibis. LA, born and raised. That's what a lot of people like to say when they're not actually from LA, they're just from LA County. I'm from LA. Who is Katie's favorite artist? The Beatles, without a doubt. Who's my favorite Beatle, you ask? No one asks that. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be lame and say Paul McCartney. I'm not saying George Harrison, like all of you music file people that are like, George Harrison's the best Beatle because of his like solo albums. I'm like, no, Paul McCartney is the best because of Paul McCartney and the Wings.
What's your favorite album? What's your favorite album?
My favorite album? Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. No Abbey Road around here. Come on, let's spice it up. What is Katie's favorite movie? Oh, little do all of you know I don't watch movies, but I will say out of actually 15 movies that I've ever seen, probably, Kill Bill Volume 2 is my favorite movie. It's really stimulating. The reason why I don't watch movies is because I think I have undiagnosed ADHD. Like I can't sit through a movie. But Kill Bill Volume 2 like really did it for me. Like really stayed stimulated. It's great. It's great. Okay. Katie Karroum's. I can't believe this. You guys want me to trauma dump right now? Katie Karroum's Urban Outfitters experience. My lord. Okay. That really caught me off guard. My Urban Outfitters experience. I hated it. I'm so sorry, Urban Outfitters. I will never ask you for a letter of recommendation, so actually I'm not sorry. I worked at the Americana location of the Urban Outfitters, and when I tell you, it is like the most like dehumanizing job that you can ever work. And you just like switch, all you do, 5-hour shifts, 8-hour shifts, all you do is switch every hour and you're like, okay, Katie's gonna be on the men's floor this hour. What am I doing on the men's floor, everyone? Guess, folding clothes for 5 hours straight. Like I might as well just go home and fold my clothes. I can't believe that you guys put that question on there. No way! Oh my God, all of my previous workplaces. This is really catching me up. Okay, Katie Karroum's favorite dish at Gus's barbecue. See, you spelled it wrong. That's what you get. Where's the apostrophe S? Okay, my favorite dish at Gus's barbecue. So I also used to work at Gus's barbecue. South Pasadena, not Porter Ranch. Sorry to my Valley people. The pulled pork nachos are the best, by far. They would actually probably write me a letter of recommendation for something. So I love you, Gus's barbecue. I had a great time working at your establishment. Katie Karroum, oh, LGBT, okay, wow, we're really getting personal. This says Katie Karroum's LGBTQ community. So I grew up in a I grew up Catholic. Let's just start there. Grew up Catholic. I went to Catholic school for 13 years. As you can tell, it did not wear off on me at all. But I've also grown up queer, not been able to talk about it that much. When I got to college at CSUN, it has become much easier for me to talk about it, express myself in the ways that I've always wanted to express myself. But I have a lot of love for the queer community and obviously the LGBTQ community. And I always try to find ways to support as much as I can, kind of like as a closeted Middle Eastern woman. A lot of obstacles, but always here to help. I love the community and I'm a part of the community. I'm no ally. Well, I am an ally because I'm in the community. Katie Karroum's career aspirations. See, this is a tough one. So remember how I said earlier I switched my major. So I was a kinesiology major wanting to become a physical therapist, become the communication studies major with no plan. I was just like, I just want to study this. I think being an AS has showed me like a lot of avenues that I would have never thought. That was the main drive is why I switched my major. And I think that I definitely just want to do something that would just contribute to society. Like, I don't want to be a politician and I don't want to be a lawyer, but like, that's usually the career avenue that people coming out of AS pursue. But I definitely just want to do something that is rooted in reaching people and communicating with people, obviously. I don't know, I was telling someone yesterday that I was like, oh, wouldn't it be a dream if I did communications for like a record label or something? That would be cool, because I just love music. Oh, Katie Karroum's guilty pleasures. I don't know, I'm like kind of vanilla. Am I different? Am I unique? What's something that is unpopular that I do? Oh, I ride an electric scooter at CSUN. Because if you go to CSUN, you understand that the electric scooter culture here is quite reckless. And the student body president uses an electric scooter. Mine doesn't go 25 miles per hour. Mine goes like max like 11. But I'm not joking. I've had Zoom meetings with administrators and they're like, yeah, the electric scooter problem is really terrible and it's like insane. And I'm like, I agree with you 100%. And I'm not joking, scooters in the back of my Zoom. I have meetings in class like 2 seconds before each other. Cut me some slack, okay? Oh, Katie Karroum's dream for AS. I wish we had more people that ran for the elections and that it was actually like a campus-wide, like, oh my God, the elections just happened, like how we have it for the national elections. They're not at the same weight. And then I think my last thing is that I wish that we had like big bubble signs, like big bubble letter signs, associated students, like how the USU just added some. And I spoke to Daniel Lopez, who's the chair of the USU board, and I was like, we need these. He was like, I don't think you want to drop this much money on it. I'm like, try me. He didn't say that verbatim. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, anything that like actually shows that like AS is here, visible on campus. Any of that nature. Okay, how to pronounce Katie Karroum. Katie Karroum. I've heard it many different ways though. I've heard Karroum. It's like, really, don't overcomplicate it to yourself like American people. It's okay. What does Katie Karroum stand for? I stand for a lot of things. I think my biggest thing is kind of like acceptance of one another in diverse spaces. Just accepting every single like nuanced type of person and that we all come from somewhere with experiences and we should not judge one another for that. And we should like be accepting of that as like, you know, I'm getting the opportunity to like learn from someone based off of their experiences that I've never experienced before, but I have the opportunity to hear from that person. I also stand for cheaper food at CSUN. That's been my thing, period. That's all I'm gonna say, honestly. And I also stand for payment plans for parking and not having to pay for one whole pass when I know a lot of students are just here for like 2 days. It's just like, why are we paying for a whole year's pass and I probably am here a quarter of the year because I have class on like 2 days because the other 4 days I'm working. What are Katie Karroum's hobbies? My biggest hobby is record collecting. I've been collecting records for a couple years now. I wish I could tell you a number of how many records I have, but I definitely have like over 120 or 150, something like that. I don't know. So that's a big thing. Music is generally my biggest hobby probably, but collecting vinyl is really cool and fun. See my Valley people watching. Shout out to Deadly Wax in Chatsworth, or a CD Trader down south of CSUN, or Amoeba. Amoeba is my favorite place. A hobby of mine is to go to Amoeba. Amoeba Hollywood. I like to shoot photography. I like to collect cameras, like older cameras, newer cameras. I like to play pool, like billiards. Like I will go and do that by myself. It's really sad. A lot of these hobbies are solo hobbies, and that's okay. Katie Karroum's height. Yeah, I'm tall, 6'2", 6'2". I'm a tall girl. I've been 6'2" since probably 2017. So when I went to high school, everyone was like, what is this freak of nature? And then they threw me on all the varsity teams because they were like, oh, she'll do something, you know? It doesn't matter. She's good or not. She'll put her hands up and it's over. I didn't do well. I rode the bench. They put too much hope in me. I'm like, I get it. Like, you are astonished by the fact that you are seeing someone that is approximately, I don't know, 7, 8 inches taller than every single girl on this team, but you still need to coach me, sir. I don't know. They sucked. That was traumatizing. Try being a tall girl in athletics because no one knows how to coach you because you are such a minority to the field, unless you're like already like playing pro. I digress. Why did Katie Karroum become AS president? So I grew up not like I didn't have that many friends and I couldn't really fit in that much. Kind of grew up like non-gender conforming and like feeling like, oh, I couldn't fit in with the girls, but I couldn't fit in with the guys, and like I would always get treated differently from one or the other. And I realized that no one was going to stick up for me because no one had a reason to stick up for me. As cliche as that sounds, that's the truth. So getting involved in general was already something that I'd been doing since I was since I was really young, because I always wanted to find a reason to get out of the house, because I also didn't have like the greatest family life. From there, I pursued leadership because leadership, I don't need to conform to people. But when I was younger, I always felt like I had to conform to people because there was no one like me. So I was standing alone all the time. I still sometimes stand alone. Luckily, there is more diversity at CSUN than any other space that I grew up around. It's definitely a stand-alone thing. As AS president, I do stand alone in the things that I do. Obviously, I have a fantastic team that backs me up, and I have great, amazing people that work with me, but I am just one president. I have that autonomy of my own decisions, identity, beliefs that I don't need to conform to anyone about. Where does Katie Karroum see herself in 5 years? I don't know. Deep question. I'm a person that likes to just sit in the present. I don't think about the future. Granted, why I don't have career aspirations. I would hope that I am moved out of the house and I have a dog. I'm living in Highland Park. I've always wanted to live in Highland Park. I'm always in Highland Park. It's just my favorite place to be in. Having, this is gonna be an unorthodox answer, a 9 to 5. Kind of just having a daily routine. I feel like I haven't lived a life where I've had a routine. I've lived, every day of my life is always so different. So I'm really looking forward to when I can say that I have a routine. And hopefully in a relationship. Hopefully I'm not single. But if I am single, that's fine. It's okay. I'll live. I'll just get a dog. But I think that's the answer of my where does Katie see herself in 5 years? And that's the end of this card, actually. And that also seems to be the end of the AS Autocomplete interview. Thank you so much for watching. Keep tuning in to any future @CSUN AS Instagram content, and we'll see you on the next one.